American Express is adding a new Centurion lounge, there's a negative change to one of the Platinum cards, and Pay Yourself Back is getting expanded. This and more in today's roundup. Big favorite before we dive in is to give us a thumbs up to help with the algorithm, and if you are new and you want to maximize the value of your credit cards, then consider subscribing. Starting with the good news, American Express is adding their first lounge in Japan. Given how popular Japan is as a destination for Americans, great news, and also doubly so because it's coming next year. It's going to be in Terminal 3 of Tokyo Haneda Airport. Design-wise, it's going to incorporate a lot of Japanese traditions, artisanal culture, and art. Also Japanese food and drinks. I, for one, am looking forward to their cocktails and their whiskey collection. Access is going to be for the Platinum, Business Platinum, and Centurion card members in Japan, and also abroad. Size-wise, it might be a bit on the small end, but it should be fine. So for context, it's about half the size of the flagship lounges in JFK and SFO. Obviously, crowding is the big question mark, but there should be less people going to the lounges. This is in Terminal 3, which is the international terminal, which should mean less traffic. Also, the US is pretty distinct in how it's normal to have the Platinum card. I think a lot of us rightfully complain that it might be a coupon book and is annoying to deal with all the credits, but it also makes it surprisingly affordable. If you contrast this to Hong Kong or Taiwan, it's going to blow your mind. So for example, the Taiwan Platinum card is about $1,100 based off the current exchange rate. The main credits you get are 5,000 NTD for restaurants in Taiwan and also 5,000 for restaurants abroad. So about 150 plus 150, so 300 in dining credits. There are other benefits, but a lot of them sound just like Amex FHR. Outside of the tangible credits, you're pretty much paying $800 as the net effective annual fee. The reason I bring this up is visitors to Japan. South Korea and Taiwan are the largest groups, and then China and Hong Kong, and then the US. So it is a smaller lounge, but you're probably finding less people, at least hopefully. Currently, there are 28 lounges around the world, and this should be number 29. I'm kind of curious what number 30 is going to be because it does feel pretty monumental. Of the top 5, Dubai is the only one that doesn't have a Centurion lounge, so it does feel like an easy target. Incheon, Korea also makes sense in my head, especially if they are expanding more in Asia. For American Express, airport lounges and making sure that millennials and Gen Z are happy have been the two big focuses. The main reason for this is because both demos are pretty much credit card enthusiasts, and they're huge fans of the Gold and the Platinum, and they're driving a lot of the signups and revenue. So that's the good news. Moving to the bad news, we do have a version of the Platinum card making a negative change, specifically the Charles Schwab variation. Starting on October 1st, 2024, for up to 1 million points, you're going to redeem 10,000 points for $110. After that, 10,000 points is only $80 for the remainder of the calendar year. So basically 1.1 cents per point for the first million points, and then after that only 0.8 cents per point. So technically a devaluation, but it probably doesn't affect most people. Unless you're redeeming 1 million points per year, you're good. The best part of this too is that with this announcement, it kind of means that they're not going to make any other changes because otherwise they would have lumped it in. And of course I could be wrong, but I feel like it makes more sense to have one negative event and PR events rather than having multiple. The last evaluation we saw for this card was August 31st, 2021, when they dropped the redemption rate from 1.25 cents per point down to 1.1 cents per point. Fingers crossed, but I think we are staying in that range for the next little bit. The only people that are probably affected are business owners and maybe marketers. So for example, if you're in dropshipping and you run a lot of ads, you might have multiple business gold cards for the 4x back. On the top end, those people might be running 100K in ads per month, so that's 400K MR per month and 4 million points per year. The reason for multiple cards is because there are caps and that just makes it work. Those are the bugs that they're pretty much targeting. It feels less targeted towards normal people. If you are in that group and you're sitting on a lot of points, then redeem by August 1st. Otherwise, you're probably fine. For normal people, reminder that there is a 1 platinum rule. So the terms for both the standard and the Schwab, it stops you from getting the other bonus if you've already gotten one of them. On your end, you want to sign up for the one that has the higher offer. The standard offer for the Schwab is 80,000 points for 8,000 in spend in the first 6 months. The better one is the targeted offer via card match for 150K points on the standard platinum. If you can only get the offer once anyways, you might as well make that number as big as possible. We do have a blog post walking through card match, and it should pop up if you Google card match Ask Sebi. I'll also link it down below. Optimal strategy for 2024 would be to get the card match 150K offer, and then afterwards when you're ready for the redemption, to get the Schwab Platinum. Doing it this way should net you an extra 70,000 Amex points, and through Schwab when you cash it out, that's an extra $770. Another strategy people do is to get all the MR cards that they want, get all the intro bonuses, and then when they're ready to cash out and pull the lever, that's when they get the Schwab. So pretty much getting all the chips they can and then cashing out once they're ready. That's probably what I would do nowadays. I'm probably going to do a separate video on the best intro bonuses, but there are two right now that I really want to cover because they're that good. First one is the American Express Hilton no annual fee card. Here you're getting 70,000 Hilton points and a free night reward after 2,000 in spend in the first 6 months. Offer here ends July 31st, 2024. Great offer, especially for a no annual fee card. The other one is the American Express Hilton Surpass. There is a $150 annual fee here, but I think it makes sense. And you also have a downgrade path in year 2. You're getting 130k points and also a free night reward after 3,000 in spend in the first 6 months. Offer ends July 31st as well. Also, there are a bunch of credits that make the card a lot more reasonable. If you're someone that wants to do aspirational travel or you just like fancier hotels, then this is an amazing offer. That free night is for pretty much any Hilton, and it works for top ones like the Waldorf Astoria Maldives and other Waldorf Astorias and LXRs. Another option are Conrads, and there is a pretty nice one in Bora Bora. We just did a video on this over the past weekend on Sabi Fung that might be worth checking out. From the West Coast, it's not too long of a flight and it's one of the best redemptions out there. And especially so when the intro bonus includes a free night, because nights here can be pretty expensive. If you were using points, it's 120k Hilton points per night. If you do both offers, you're getting 2 free night rewards, 200k Hilton points, and from the MSR from the spend that you have to do, about 15k Hilton. If you have Amex points to transfer over to Hilton, you can top off and pretty much get 4 nights. If you have a player or two that's a bit hesitant on this whole thing, then I find that a trip like this really helps convince them. Especially so if it's on their travel list. It also makes it a lot more affordable and you don't feel like you're blowing through your budget since it could otherwise be $1,500 to $2,000 per night. Your mileage may vary, but happy player 2, happy life. On that note, if you want to learn about cards, we have links on the website asksebi.com and also down below in the description box. Make sure the links are competitive, that the cards make sense for you, but otherwise it is a huge way to support the channel, so thank you guys in advance. Moving to a lightning round, if you'd rather pay cash, there is an Amex offer where you get $250 back for spending $1,250 for Waldorf Astorias, Conrads, and LXRs. Also, it might be worth looking into if you are spending a lot on food or other excursions through the hotel. Also, I do see these on my Hilton Aspire cards, so I think you can stack them up and use both sets of credits at the same time, but it is a lot of spend. There's also an offer for French B. They do fly to PPT, which is the airport for French Polynesia. You would then take a short haul flight from PPT to BOB. There's also an Amazon offer where you get $15 off if you add an Amex card to your Amazon wallet. You do have to sign up for the promotion and then afterwards use code AmexPD15 off, and the total has to be more than $15. I'll put the link down below and you can check if you're targeted. If you're not targeted and you have American Express cards on your Amazon wallet, then remove them and try again in a day and you might be surprised. If you have a lot of cards, it might not be worth the effort, but if you only have 1 or 2, you might as well try. Again, if you want to learn about cards, we have links on the website, asksebi.com, and also down below in the description box. If you made it to this point, leave a burger emoji in the comments down below, and I'll try to heart it and also respond. A few questions, but what are your thoughts on the Centurion Lounge in Tokyo, and where do you think the 30th lounge is going to be? Number 2, are you affected by the Schwab Platinum change, and does that affect your decision making? Big favorite, thumbs up, but otherwise hope you liked it. See you next time.